What's up, guys? It's Hoya Sports Network over here. Let's get right onto the news. To start off, basketball. My thoughts on the John Wall and Westbrook trade. Honestly, right now, it looks like the Wizards probably won the trade just because, you know, we haven't seen John Wall play in a while, and no one knows what to expect. But he also does have that pedigree, of what he did in the past with the Wizards. And when he wasn't injured before those past 2 seasons, he was a very good and a star player. So let's hope he could keep that up and hopefully both teams win that trade for the sake of my fantasy team. Which leads me to my next conversation. My NBA fantasy team update. I started an NBA fantasy league with my friends from school, just like we did last season where I won. Hopefully I'm hoping to be two-time. And yeah, I'm going to give you guys a run through of my team and who I drafted. So let's get it. Let's go. I got Russell Westbrook. I had him last season. He was really good for me. Devon, another of my friends in the league, he's a big Russell Westbrook fan. Really wanted him, and I traded him, I believe, and I got Anthony Davis back, who I lost in a bet. So that was good. But hopefully, I get to keep Russell this time. I like him. He's a very good player. Bradley Beal. Let's go. I finessed him. Devon, this was a player Devon had last season. Bradley Beal was very good. I tried to get my hands on him through trades. Devon wouldn't cough up, and I managed to get him this draft. So I'm happy I picked him up. Star shooting guard, and I picked up that Washington duo, guard duo. So I'm hoping Washington Wizards turn up this season. Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. And you already know, I got the king, LeBron James. I had to get him back. I retained him back. Very good. He's always going to be consistent. He's the king, bro. The king doesn't age. He's going to turn up this season. I believe he will do good for me again. Next up, finessed. So before I get to this part, last season, since COVID struck and the season was out, instead of giving me money, at least I felt I deserved some incentive, since I at least had the best record in my league last season. So I told my guys, listen, we got into a fight first, but then we found agreement through talking. I was, listen, guys, you guys let me if you guys let me draft one player that I want as my first round pick, and you guys don't draft them before me, because I'm obviously have the last pick since I had the best record in the league, you guys don't have to pay me. And guess who that player was? Giannis Antetokounmpo. Let's go. Let's freaking go. We got Giannis and LeBron on the same team. Yikes. And then next up, I got Karl Anthony Towns, bro. Hopefully he does really good for me. I know he did really good for my friend John, who had him last season. But he had some injury issues. But hopefully this year he turns up and he does really good for me. Next up, I got Ben Simmons. I know he can't shoot threes. I think he does know how to shoot them, but still, like, I got Ben Simmons back. I had to retain him back. He always turned up for me, and he was pretty good for me, and just a player I enjoy having on my team. So I'm glad I got to retain him back. Another player I retained back, DeMar DeRozan. Let's go. I don't remember if I drafted him last season. To be honest with you guys, I forgot. But if I didn't, I probably picked him up in free agency. It was a very good... No, actually, I feel I drafted him. I did draft him. He turned up for me. He's a very consistent player. I think I lost him out of some dumb move. I think it was like a matchup with Devon. And I think we were both, like, there was one game left at the end of the week that was going to decide who won that week. And, me, out of foolishness, I think I still won that week. But I dropped DeMar DeRozan in order to win that week, because I really wanted to win. For a New Orleans player, I believe. I think I dropped him for Lonzo. But yes, I got him back. I retained him back. Happy about that. Finesse from Jose, the rebound king, Andre Drummond. Very good player. His stats are very good. He's a scorer, and he loves to rebound. And that's a fantasy upside when it comes to NBA fantasy. Andre Drummond, which has been a consistency of his for like the past, ever since he's been in the league. That's why he's a huge favorite when it comes to drafting in fantasy leagues, just because his rebounding ability is amazing, and on top of that, his points. So Hopefully he does good. A new player that I drafted this season is no one had him last season. I think he stayed free agency the whole last season, but he's a very good player. DeAndre Ayton. He's a very good star player for the Phoenix Suns. Superstar, not probably superstar. Yeah, he's a star. He's a superstar in Phoenix. And I feel he'll turn up for me. He's a very good player. Last season he had some conflicts because he tested for something, I believe, and he got suspended for a few games. But now he's back, and hopefully he turns up for me and he does really good. So it's gonna be. I'm hoping he's a great addition to the team. Next up, this is a hint because I told you guys earlier in the beginning of my video. I got John Wall. Let's get it. I know he hasn't played in the past 2 years due to injury, but I'm hoping, he still got his skill set, and that him and James Harden could make a good duo over there at Houston, and John Wall could turn up for me and give me some good stats, man, and be a great addition to my fantasy team. So that was something I'm happy to get. My point guards are pretty much stacked. Speaking of point guards, I got ice in my veins. D'Angelo Russell, welcome to the team, bro. Let's get it. D'Angelo is obviously gonna form that duo over there at Minnesota with I forgot the #1 draft pick they drafted over there and Towns. So I think it's gonna be tremendous. D'Angelo Russell is, he's just constantly improving, and I can't wait. So I have him over there on my team as well. And another player I retained from last season was Hassan Whiteside. I know he plays for the Kings now, and he's not playing for Portland, but I still think Hassan is a very good player, and he's still going to rack me up some good points. So hopefully he does good for me. And then my last pick of the draft was Victor Oladipo. Last season he was injured. He was out for the majority of last season, but then he came back at the end. He started off with a slow start, but then slowly he started building up to where he was at. So I hope he gets back to that point and he turns up for me, which will be really, really great. Yeah, that's pretty much my NBA team, guys. My fantasy team. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully I get first place again. 2-time, baby. 2-time. Next up, we got football. My fantasy football update. Damn, man, I'm so pissed off about this one. So, guys, I played this week, and, I lost. I fucking lost, guys. Taysom Hill, he did good for me. He got me, he did pretty decent, 17.2. Aaron Jones, I expected him to turn up, but he sadly didn't turn up for me. And but he still did decent. And then Melvin Gordon, I should have expected this from the top. It was my mistake. He had a horrible game. The Broncos, other quarterbacks last week got COVID. So, obviously, Broncos, it was going to be a horrible game for them. And sadly, it affected my fantasy team. Chris Godwin did good for me. He turned up for me. He came in solid. DK Metcalf, superstar over there at Seattle. He turned up for me. And then Dalton Schultz, he has a great high volume, but sadly the Cowboys, we got embarrassed on national TV against the Washington football team. And then Gallman is pretty good for me as well. He's a solid pickup that I picked up. He's been doing really good for me, so hopefully he keeps turning up. Chiefs defense did decent, but they still only got me 2 points. And then my kicker only got me 2 points, and I lost. So what does this mean? Obviously, me and the second place guy, we're both 6-6. So, and this week, he plays the last place guy in my division, and I play the first place guy in my division. So it's going to be pretty tough. The only way that I could see success in me going through to the playoffs is if I win the first place guy and he loses to the last place guy. Or if we both win, I'm screwed if I don't have more fantasy points scored than him, because I noticed that we could both have the same record right now like we do, but he's only on top of me because he has more scores. So if my players score a lot of fantasy points and I accumulate more than him, then I get that second place secured. And hopefully that can happen. We'll see. Hopefully I'm playoff bound, guys. Cowboys update. I think I told you guys last week we got embarrassed on national TV by the football team. This week, coming up on Tuesday, we play the Ravens. I don't know what's the situation with Lamar Jackson, because he tested for COVID, but they're saying that it's very probable that he could come back. Something, honestly, I don't want, because, Lamar is very good. But you know, Baltimore is missing like a lot of very important pieces. So I do hope the Cowboys could come up clutch, because we basically got like a bye week again, because the Baltimore Steelers game kept getting pushed back, affecting our game with them. So hopefully my Cowboys could beat the Ravens and we could be back on track for that playoff hunt and to make the playoffs. Soccer. PSG for Messi. Yeah, my friend Jesus, he told me about this. He's a huge PSG fan. He told me that PSG does have a solid interest in Messi, and all these PSG wanting Messi rumors circulated because Neymar came out saying that he wants to play with Messi again. Who knows what will happen if Messi will stay at Barca. If he does, he's obviously going to want a huge amount of money to stay. And then, you know, the new president over there at Barca saying, I'm going to bring Neymar back. We'll see about that, because we'll see, honestly. And I don't know, because my friend Jesus told me Neymar has already dedicated that he's going to stay in PSG. So I'm confused here. If Messi does leave, I see him going to City first. PSG will probably be second option. And then, obviously, him staying would be the third. But we will see what happens with Messi this summer. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate you guys so much for, you know, joining me in this journey. And hopefully we just keep growing this YouTube channel. And I build a family in this community that I am creating. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you guys so much. Hoya Sports Network with 154 subscribers. Peace.